most complete games we've played. You know, we didn't play a perfect game by any stretch, but we did exactly what we wanted to do tonight as far as dictating tempo, and we really defended well tonight. That's the thing I'm happiest about.
Yeah, you know, you guys did a lot of things well out there tonight, so rather than kind of ask you some obvious questions about the game that just happened, why don't we talk about, this is your first year at Jackson, correct?
Yeah.
And is it, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is it your first year as a full-time varsity head coach?
Yeah, first year as a full-time varsity head coach. I've previously been the JV coach at Shorecrest High School for the last 8 years, so that's what I've been doing with my my basketball career until then.
So why don't you talk a little bit about what you think has gone, you know, it's kind of the halfway point of the season, kind of evaluate yourself as a first-year varsity coach, maybe one of the some of the things that surprised you the most, both from something you struggled at and then also something that you kind of surprised yourself and said, hey, I'm really good at this.
Well, you know, coming in, it was a really fun off season that we had. I got a chance to get in there and get my hands dirty in June and get out there and really encourage them to run. You know, it's a little bit different tempo than we did last year, and that's been one of the most fun things is coming in and doing that. You know, the biggest change for me, honestly, has been simply that it's not a basketball change or a boys and girls change. It's a different community, and I'm a Shorecrest guy, born and bred, went to high school there, coached there for the last 8 years on JV, but 13 years total.
Yeah.
You know, and just coming to a brand new place where the people don't know you, and you know, you're trying to get to know them a little bit and just letting them know what you're all about. So, you know, that's probably been the highs and the lows have all been in that, in the sense that, you know, I like to try to create a family atmosphere, and we've done a lot of good stuff in the off season as far as getting the girls together and giving them an opportunity to spend time as a team, get them an opportunity to compete in basketball games, but spend time off the floor as well. And then I guess the other thing is, like I said, you know, the challenges come from that too. When people don't really, you know everything about you, you know, you got to make sure you're doing everything you can to communicate. And I'm relatively pleased. You know, there's definitely a lot of stuff over the course of the year where, you know, we're just now starting to kick into gear with defense. That's been one of the biggest things that I've had to work on from just an X's and O's standpoint, making a few adjustments to make sure that what we're doing really fits the group of girls that we have. But yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. It's been a fun ride so far, and I think that fortunately, since we are in the home stretch right now, I think that we're starting to just really see pieces of what we can become.
Absolutely.
Now, from a strategic standpoint, I know this sounds like I'm knocking you, but I promise I'm not. I just want to know.
He's bigger than you. I wouldn't knock this man, and he's physically fit.
I know you. I know you had a good reason behind it, and I just want to know because no one knows what a team is trying to build unless you're in that team. So just curious, what were you working on when you're pressing in the fourth quarter with such a big lead?
Well, you know, when we played Edmonds Woodway earlier in the year, we gave up a 22-point halftime lead. And, you know, I sort of made a decision at that point that we were going to say, hey, you know what, we don't play to the scoreboard, we play to our identity, and we make sure that, you know, we're playing a good defensive game. We needed to make sure that we kept seeing results from that. And, you know, I'm never the kind of guy who wants to try to run anything up on anybody. So, you know, I got my subs to the table when I could and got that out of there. But, you know, I didn't want to pull it off earlier than we could and give them, you know, the idea that they could get back in the game, because we've seen that firsthand, how badly that can go. When you give a team just a little bit of a window, they can start getting some shots to fall. And, you know, so that's what was going on tonight. So
yeah, you know, one of I think the most undervalued things in sports is it's hard for athletes to, you know, quote unquote turn the switch on and off, and you can't tell your players, you know, play defense at 50% because in the third quarter of a state tournament game, you know, you don't want their you know, muscle repetition to remember what it's like to play defense at 50%.
Exactly.
And that kind of seems like the defensive strategy that you're picking up on.
Well, it is. And I mean, the biggest thing that I tell the girls in practice every day is that every rep you do something, you're building a habit. You can choose to build a good habit, or you can choose to build a habit that's not going to be so helpful. And, you know, we want to make sure that everything that we do, you know, we got a really tough stretch coming up after here. I mean, not to take anything away from Monroe. They're playing some good basketball. They're getting some good wins. But after Monroe and Mount Vernon, we get into a tough stretch with Arlington and Edmonds Woodway and Linwood twice in 1 week. I mean, that's going to be as tough a schedule as anybody faces in the conference. And, you know, that we got to be ready for that. We got to make sure that, you know, everything's clicking in high gear when we get to that stretch.
Yeah, we were at Monroe and watched them. I believe it was a 20-plus point win against the Cascade team that you guys played earlier in the year, and that's a tough gym to play in with the band and the fans and everything.
Monroe is a great home court advantage for those girls over there, and, you know, their coach does a great job with them. Matt does, and, you know, they just play hard. I mean, that's the biggest thing is they have some talented players, but my goodness, the way they scrap, the way they defend, I mean, it's hard to find any footage of them taking a play off. They just absolutely get after it.
He's a football coach, too.
Yeah,
yeah, you guys have quite the stretch here with Arlington, Edmonds, Woodway, and Linwood, the 22nd through the 27th, then Cascade, then Linwood again. on the 31st. So keep them, and I know you will, conditioned and ready. And Mark, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
And again, we've been talking to you after the games, and you're 3 for 3. Welcome to Wesco.
I'll take it.
And I love your tie too. You got a great tie.
Oh well, thank you very
looks
much.
good. Yeah, he's looking dapper.
And before we let him go, I believe, if my memory serves, you have a sports-related business outside of.
Yeah, it's a fitness-related business, so it's it's not right now I'm in my teaching school. I'm getting my master's in teaching.
Oh, that's
so,
great.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's my big deal.
Cool.
And what was the name of that again?
The name of my business is Diffie Fitness, DIFY Fitness. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we get the plug in there, and we also see Sherry Summerfield, who is a great photographer, official photographer for the Everett Aqua Sox. One of our longtime buddies happens to stroll by here, so we get her on the on the broadcast and all abouts as well. So it's family night here, ladies and gentlemen. And she was a star basketball player at Everett Community College back in the 80s as well. Had a heck of a jump shot from what we understand. So we're going to take a break, come back and look at the stats right here on the postgame show on Fox Sports 1380.